there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Word to your mother.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Gatto.
Hi, I'm Steve Byrne.
And we have a very special episode of
Two
Cool Moms.
Moms.
No, now it's Too Cool Mom. I'm sorry. I took both words. Listen, our moms taught us to be accountable.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's the thing. We didn't have podcasts for this week. So we said, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk a little bit, and we want to release something to the people because we know everybody wants it.
There's a fever pitch.
There's a fever pitch.
America's...
There's tens on hundreds of people listening that are like, we need to get up on this.
I contacted Time to say we should be the people of the year.
Yeah.
And they said, who are you guys? So
we said, we better get started.
We better get started. Yeah. We got work to do.
Well, this actually got us down the rabbit hole a little bit of saying, what did our moms teach? Because my mom was huge on accountability, and she was always like, you have to, and I was like, oh, but my mom did teach me a lot of stuff. And this weekend we were performing together on the road, which was so much fun. We were I did my first theater run, and Steve was kind enough to come with me and get that crowd all juiced up.
Toledo,
we started in, then we went to Indianapolis.
and
then
Peoria.
we went to Peoria, Illinois, which was phenomenal. Such great crowds. And also some fun casino nights.
So we discussed this. People think, okay, you would assume being on the road with comedians, especially one that likes whiskey, late nights, like it'd be exhausting hanging out with me. The sober one is the one that you're going to get dragged through the mud. Oh my God. 5 in the morning? Yeah. Was it 5 in the morning leaving a casino?
Yeah.
Laughing my ass off. One of the best nights I've had in a long time.
So fun.
Unbelievable.
So fun. We had some fun casino nights. A casino is my world stage. I love being in a casino with my friends around a craps table. It's always such a good time.
Dance floor or casino? What do you take?
Whoa, that's a good one.
That's your toss-up.
Oh, dance floor and casino is tough. That is I will say if the DJ, I'm going to say 100% music's right on the dance floor. If it's a great one, I'm going to have to probably go... I'm going to have to go dance floor, I think.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow, you had a crap... That is, yeah. What do you think, Jackie?
That surprised me you even said that.
Well, here's why I will tell you, because the numbers of interaction could go up. Like you could, there's only a certain amount of people at the craps table you can go.
Right.
And you're also working a little bit, trying to think about like what you're doing. But on a dance floor, I'm a free bird, baby. I'm out there. I'm peacocking, strutting around.
But you like winning.
I do like winning.
And you like leaving with a little...
I do, but I like making my friends win just as much. I love helping people win money. Like our boy Justin this week I helped him win a lot more than he would have if he wasn't betting correctly.
Yes.
So that was
betting
fun.
with Justin, who is perpetual, has the dark cloud.
Yeah.
It's always raining. I never win. And he won.
Yeah.
He won this past weekend.
Really
and
did.
then he won at left, right, center.
Yes, we played left, right, center when we ate Pignoli's. What's the name of the place? Pierogies. Portillo's. I was close to start with a P. That was really fun to hang out and play there. I don't know. Where do you think you're freest as a bird? Because you're a social butterfly too. I'll also put in there a large dinner table with friends. Like a dinner party.
I think that's the polite, like nice thing.
Yeah, for sure. No.
For you, I think you're in your element at a craps table.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Even when things aren't going so well, it's still fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I always say I don't mind losing as long as I'm having a good time doing it. Mm-hmm. And it's the worst when you're not having fun doing it. And then I just stop. Like, that's what will make me stop gambling. I'm like, this isn't even fun losing. Like, if I'm losing and I was like, okay, because I always go with what I could lose and I would do it responsibly. But I'm like, if I'm not even having fun and I still have money in my pocket, that I would like, just forget it. Like, I've done that a bunch.
Yeah.
But I love just this weekend was very different though. It was like the Wild West. Well, at one point, my cousin Mike Williams, who's a very strong gentleman, had Steve on his shoulders at like a totem pole at the craps table. I've never seen this in my life.
We should give them backlog, right?
Okay.
Or backstory. So Justin
was on a heater.
He was on a heater, but I think the key is that he and I would have to make eye contact.
You're on opposite ends of the table.
We're on opposite ends of the table. So every time, there's only so many times you could look at each other and make a silly face or like, stuff like that. So I was getting more and more inventive with what I could do during eye contact. So again, your cousin Mike, who's very fit.
Yeah.
I said, do you think you could put me on your shoulders and lift you up? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, okay. When he gets the dice, he always looks down and then he looks up to see what I'm going to do. So when he looks up, I'm gonna like corral you like I'm on a horsey, and then you go up. He goes, okay, and so Justin has the dice. He mutters to you. He looks up at me, and as I do that, I donkey kick Mike, and all of a sudden I go up, but then I'm going forward.
He almost fell on the
and
table.
he almost lost it, and there was a stutter step, and then I went back up, and I was. I mean, I was
because Mike is 6'2".
Yeah, I was definitely like 5 feet up in the air, just like staring, totally committed, staring at Justin, and Justin seeing him not break at all. He didn't break, and he still rolled.
After he rolled them when he was losing, he would try to keep eye contact with you, and I couldn't believe how good you were doing. I even so much was like amazed because I would watch it unfold. Justin wouldn't look at you, but I would watch you take your shirt off. You had your shirt off at one point. You had it around you like an ascot, like a proper gentleman. You grabbed your drink, had your pinky out, and he looked up at you, and you were a bare-chested European, I guess, some sort.
And when he rolled, I completely shoved my stomach out.
Oh, so funny.
I was spraying myself like a Shamu show. I was deep-throating chips.
You took a bottle of water and just shot it all over your face and just looked at him like a romance novel when the guy's under the waterfall and just does the hair whip. Oh, it was so fun. Yeah, I couldn't believe they didn't throw us out. I thought for sure we were going to.
I absolutely thought I was like, they're going to kick me out, and we were getting so delirious towards the end. I was crying, laughing at the things I was thinking of doing. Being behind Mike on that one. And then Justin was...
you hid from one and just had your eyes at the top of the
I just
table?
had my eyes like this. And then Justin, he was talking to you, and I was like, oh, now's my chance. And I ran all the way behind everybody, and he looked up, and then I was below his feet, at his feet, and I was looking up at him.
Laid under his legs.
And he looked down at me, and he took the dice and still looked at me as he rolled the dice.
And he got a hard 6. It was a phenomenal. Oh, great time. Yeah, great time. It was just, I love that. I love the energy of that.
But you create that. Like you give license to be like, let's just have fun. And then we're having fun. The crew at the table is having fun. And then all those games happen because you are the gatekeeper, and you're like, oh, let's kind of goof off here a bit. I mean, you're dancing around. The guy moving all the chips through the casino. It was beeping, and it was just standing there having a conversation. I mean, that was crazy. You were dumping on him, and
the stanchions. So I wrote a stanchion at one point. It was a good time. I will say though, on the dance floor now, if we're gonna go the other way, I love a good dance floor because the dance floor is always, you never know who you're gonna bump into. The possibilities are endless. Like it's always fun. You turn around, you're gonna see these guys in Hawaiian shirts, right? You're gonna see the wallflower that all of a sudden knows how to dance. You're gonna see the person who really knows how to dance. You have a robot off, and they're doing splits. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. I love that. And if the music is right, I think that's a huge key.
The music's got to be right. Yeah,
you like a dance floor, but you don't dance.
I don't dance.
No, but you curate.
I love
a sing along.
I love a sing along.
Right.
Yeah. I love a good sing along. But if there's like if I'm basically a little tipsy and there's a song I love, I'll go out and sing it. But I don't like dance. Right. Like you can dance, even though you're goofing off, like you could still dance. You could be a good dancer.
I convince people that I can dance.
No, you can dance. Jiggy's a good dancer.
Jiggy's a great dancer.
Jiggy was showing us some moves backstage, and I was like, oh, he can really dance. Like he's actually, obviously he's a great athlete, but
that's what we have in common.
Yeah, I mean,
we both have athletic bodies. I'm shaped like a bowling pin, and he's shaped like an athlete.
But there's also the, the fact that there's ladies on the dance floor too, which makes it.
Well, I love the opportunity to make romance between the shy fellows. I like to break the ice. I like to do that.
You're Cupid on the dance floor.
I am, man. I am a wingman. I love doing that.
You'll get the GameStop crew that is a little nervous to talk to the girls. And you'll get them out of their shell.
And the girls who just want to have a good time with some guys that work at GameStop. You know what I mean? It's I think it's important. My mother at my sister's wedding didn't tell anybody and went to the band and sang Chenda Luna, which she didn't know the words to, which was one of my favorite things ever. So my sister's on the dance floor and everybody, is dancing and the song goes, Chenda Luna, Menzima, and it's a bunch of just Italian words thrown together. So all of a sudden it's a big wedding. My sister's had this big wedding and we're all hanging out and dancing and laughing on the dance floor. I spent the whole night on the dance floor. And all of a sudden you hear gentleman, and I'm like, oh, we didn't hear that singing yet. That's a beautiful voice, and we look, and it's my mother, and she doesn't know the words, and she's just going gentleman, just one finger whipping her dress around. The place went nuts, and my mom's like, hey, and she's just doing the whole thing, and I was like, are you kidding me, Mom? And then she came over, I was like, Mom, that's not the words. Like, I don't know what the fucking words were. Just crushed the whole wedding. It was so crazy.
How old were you?
She got up there. My sister, I mean, that was what my sister's married 20 years, right? So I'm 20. Yeah, I'm like 20, late 20s.
And that was the first time you saw your mom like sing like that.
Yeah, she went crazy like that. At a wedding like that. My mom was always a party animal, always a good time or whatever. But to just do that, I was like, wow. She was like just so caught up in the moment and so happy, I think. And it was just really funny to see her sneak and just do it. You know what I mean? Which is really cool.
The only time I saw my mom like come out of her shell like a party or whatever, my brother, I've never seen my mom have a drink in my life. I've never seen her drink anything. My father, on the other hand. But my brother had just come back from Iraq. This is maybe 2005 or 2006. So or he's about to go on a second deployment. I forget which one it was, but we were, I think we did a show. We did a show for them. We did a show before they were taking off. That's what it was. So I got like Robert Kelly and Big J. Okerson and Sherrod Small, and we go do a show for my brother's company. My father bought them all a steak and lobster dinner, and then my father put together a comedy show. And he said, "Can you help me do this?" I said, "Of course." So we go up there, and that night my mom did a beer bong.
What?
So they held the funnel up, and my brother's got pictures of it, but she like chugged a beer. And I was like, oh, my God, Mom, what the hell? And, you know, here I am seeing this 4'11" Korean woman
amazing.
Just like take it down. And I was like,
that's crazy.
It was like one of those moments where you're like, oh, my mom's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, seeing your moms do first things is crazy. My mom was always against sushi. And I'm like, Mom, I really think you'll like it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I can't do it. I said, Mom, come on. And I took her for sushi.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, here, I'll get you a crab roll. I said, you know, I'll give you a California roll. I said, it's cooked crab. It's, well, it's fake, whatever. She ate it. She loved it. She's like, oh, this is so good. I was like, of course you do. Everybody loves, you know. And I said, you want to try some of the real stuff? And she's like, okay, what's this one? And it was a tuna roll.
That was
tuna
it,
and
right?
cucumber.
That's the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, what is this one? I was like, it's tuna cucumber. She's like, okay. And she took it. She goes, she took 2 bites. And she goes, get me out of here. Get me out of here. This is disgusting.
Oh, really?
I was so proud of her that she tried, though.
She tried,
Because she's this, at that time, she was like a 64-year-old Italian Staten Island woman who was like in her
Set in your
box,
ways.
you know,
Yeah.
set in her ways, who had nothing but Pomodoro sauce her whole life, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
And I was so proud of her that she tried it. And but then whenever we ordered sushi, she'd maybe get her a
She'd get the
California roll. Yeah, it was really funny.
I took my folks to Vegas when I was doing, you know, Vegas for the first time. I was doing Beatrice Madhouse, and my mom, I don't think she had ever even been to Vegas. Never gambled in her life because our family, our Korean side of our family, my mom's side is steeped in royalty. And what happened is,
Your mom's?
my mom's side
Okay.
has a great-great-grandfather who was part of this royal family. And what ended up happening was, I think it was my great-grandfather, and he was a notorious gambler and gambled away the family fortune.
No.
So there's a statue of him in Korea. It's S-O-L, Seoul. It's a very rare name, the Seoul bloodline. And so kind of like this outcast. And so my mom was always adamantly against like gambling, but the rest of the family, you know. So we're in Vegas and she sees, you know, the gimmicky huge slot machine.
The big 777, right? With the
I'm like, Mom, you gotta do something in Vegas. The whole time, I'm like getting her to play blackjack. She's like, no, I'm not gonna gamble. I go, do this for me. Just do that, okay? Do that. She goes, okay. Well, how much is it? I go, it's $1. Let me put it in. So I put the dollar in. She goes and pulls the thing down. I have to help her. She's so tiny. She pulls the thing down, hits the jackpot.
No.
Yeah, she won like $500.
Amazing.
And so the rest of the weekend, every time we passed it, she's like, see if I down, and then
she's jumping up
she
on
was
her own.
hooked.
Oh my goodness.
She was hooked on it. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
It was hilarious. She got a little taste of the fever.
That's crazy. My mom was a massive gambler. She gambled away everything.
Oh really?
Oh my God, everything. It was crazy. When she died, she owed the casinos $100,000 in markers.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It was
So
crazy.
that's where your fever for the casinos comes into play, because you said your father took you guys to Vegas.
My
in a
father
past
was a
episode,
gambler
right?
as well. My father was a gambler, and my mother was a gambler. But my mom was like, well, the thing with my mom is my mom came into money when my father died, because my father passed away. He was the vice president of an insurance company,
Wow.
and I'm 97% sure he just called in every favor and got all sorts of policies added. And when he died, he left millions to my mom.
Wow. Okay.
So she came into money like whoa, out of nowhere, and she loved to gamble.
Yeah.
And she loved the way she got treated in Atlantic City. You get treated like a queen down there.
Like
She
a-
knew
yeah.
all these people, so she would go down there. Everybody would know her because she was a firecracker, She's not easy to ignore, right? So she would come in the room and like get the dinners and all this stuff. She would love bringing people down with her and, her friends and us, the kids, because we were all of gambling age. And she would just like love to play the dollar poker machines, the machines. She didn't like playing cards.
Right.
She hated that other people could affect your money. Like she would say that all the time about like blackjack or whatnot.
Right.
So she would just sit there and play draw poker all the time. And I've never seen somebody so lucky at those machines.
Wow.
She used to be so lucky at them. She would
Well, I've
win
never
all
seen
the time.
somebody so lucky in the casino, like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You call things. I've never the horn high.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We're playing craps again. So most of us, I now have a familiarity in terms of what is required of you to bet to be at the table, but then in the middle, all the side bets,
All the carnival stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
In the middle.
yeah, all those. What do you call them? Parlor bets or
The ones in the middle, carnival bets, I call them.
carnival? Okay,
Yeah.
so carnival one-off bets, right?
Yeah.
So we're playing. We have a hot hand. I'm rolling dice.
Mm-hmm.
You say, everybody, take a $5 chip, give it to the staff. We all take a $5
We give them a
chip,
round of
give it to the
applause 'cause
staff,
they're out
round
here
of
working.
applause, They're working.
Yeah.
And then he says, everybody, take another $5 chip, put on a horn high.
Horn high aces. Horn high aces. 2 1s we need.
2 1s. That's it, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I just put the chip in. I take the dice. What the hell's horn high? Roll it. Boom. Snake eyes.
Yeah.
And we hit.
You
and
win $57 each, yeah.
You called
Yep.
the exact roll. It was crazy.
I knew it. That was a great one. I
And
felt
that's
it.
a one-off bet.
It's a one-off bet, and it just happened. The universe was like, "Let's give these guys some money. They're a good time, fun time."
There was another time you told me to bet on 9.
Yeah.
And then I hit 9. Like literally the next roll. It's unbelievable. But what I appreciate about you is you seem to be a social gambler. I don't see you going
sure.
by yourself.
For sure.
And like-
I've been at times where I go and if I want to gamble, because I could outlast a lot of people, because a lot of people do drink that I'm with, and it just, when you're drunk and you're losing money, like it just not, some people should stop, and then sometimes I do enjoy just like but I don't really like gambling by myself. I do enjoy being at the craps table sometimes by myself if I'm just trying to make up some ground or if I have a nice crew that I'm playing with or
Right.
whatnot. But for the most part, no, I love being with people. That's why I like craps. It's a social game.
Very social.
Even on
yeah.
our Joker's cruises, when we did the cruises, I used to do this thing called in one of my events on the boat was I would grab fans and make them roll dice, and we would hang out, which was so fun. And we even did that with those 3 kids that were in the casino. Remember?
That's right, yeah.
So there was 3 24-year-olds, 2 guys and a girl walking by. She had a cast on. They had never rolled dice. We opened up. We said, "Come on in." We let them roll or whatever. And they had a great time. I love doing that stuff too, just to like have people have an experience like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen you do that multiple times, but you create such a fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
So did you get to gamble with your mom? Did you ever?
For sure.
Like the
My
way
mom all
you
the time.
gamble
Yeah. No, not like that.
now? Yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't get like that with my mom. She passed away. I was in season 2.
Okay.
At the beginning of season 2, so I was getting like $50 an episode. Basic cable channel 1 million. But she, we gambled. She did this thing when we went down. She had won $10,000 twice within an hour on a draw poker machine.
Oh, wow.
And she called us all to come down, and we all came down. Me and my sisters, we all came down, and we stayed over. And we were at a blackjack table together. I'm sorry, a 3-card poker table together, playing 3-card poker. And it was just one of the coolest, funnest things. She was like, "Don't even worry about it." We were betting like, $15 a hand or
Just
whatever it
having
was.
fun.
Just having a great time. We stayed there the whole time. We had so many laughs. We had a big steak dinner. It was really fun. So I guess I get that from her, the whole like communal. You could make it fun. The big thing too is if like what you're doing and you're doing it for fun. Like that's the big difference. Like if you know that you're not like, I'm not there to try to break the bank, beat the
Take down the
that's
house.
how I'm trying to take down the house. I'm there to have a good time with my friends and lose what I'm able to.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've all been to casinos, especially now at our age, and being in entertainment, especially you go to Vegas, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not as fun to
No.
go with people that are competitive and are looking to win, and not just win, but win big.
Yeah.
Because they're betting big. And when you're betting big, your investments are that, your emotional investment is that much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not fun to be around.
No, it's tough.
Even the highs, like, it's.
Yeah. I recently gotten into baccarat. Baccarat.
Now, what is that?
I still don't know, but it was very fun. You got to yell at the deal, you yell monkey at the cards. It was very funny. A nice lady named Emily.
Mm-hmm.
We had a table 2 weekends ago, and I was with Jiggy, and I was like, oh, I've never played baccarat. And they're like, you should play. It's fun. So I went, and I ended up winning a lot of money. And I was like, okay, I like this game.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does it work? And then I was like,
So
I don't
you're winning,
even want to
you don't
know.
even know how it's working?
I was like, I don't even want to know. Because I feel like that happens a lot of times. I hate that when people come up, I'm like, what do I need to roll? I'm like, don't even worry, just go. Because then you start thinking, and then it's not fun. You start you start worrying about what you have to do. And
What do you think your mom would say if she could see how she saw season 1, obviously, unpacked, but from it just being a show to it being to the point where you can't walk through an airport, a grocery store, or anywhere public without being noticed. Like, everybody in this country, in a group of people, somebody knows who you are. Right. I mean, what do you think your mom would think from that to where it is now?
Yeah, my mom was a peacock at season 1. Like, she was like, that's my son Joe. Like, I can't even imagine what she would have been like now. I think because she was super proud of me even then, just because I was realizing the dream and doing that. But now that I'm affecting people's lives in a way and trying to make families laugh the way my family grew up laughing, I think she would have a real affinity for that and happy in a different way. Because when I did it, what she saw from me was I was doing something that I loved, and her son being like, oh, look, he's a comedian. He did it.
Sure, yeah.
And then, but now to see how, as I see it, the way that I am affecting change or able to affect change or try to do some good in the world and things like that, that is on a different level for me. And I think I get that from her. Right. So I think she would be like super proud in a different way of that, of like, holy cow, like, look what he could do, like, with all my be kind and she, like the dog's probably not so much. She like dogs, but I think that, but with like the kindness and especially like the family stuff about like having parents something to connect with their kids with, like that was, she was all about family. So I think like in this weekend, you were on stage, we saw an 11-year-old girl with her 14-year-old brother and their parents together. Sure. And I met them in the meet and greet, and the little girl was crying, and I was hugging her, and I saw the mom, and I was like, and she just was like crying, saying thank you. And I was like, I 100% get what you mean. Like, it's just like to be able to bond with your family over something, like the way we did with our parents over TV or whatever. Sure. And to be the thing to be watched is crazy in a different way, and you don't realize that in the beginning, right? Yeah. Like season 1 or whatever, you're like, oh, look at me, I'm on TV, but you don't realize who's watching you. Sure. And the importance of that.
Well, the difference between us is I did realize who's watching my show. Nobody, because we got canceled after 3 seasons.
Yeah, 3 seasons.
We got 3 seasons, but I'll never forget when, looking back on my folks, they, being here in New York City, I started in New York, 1997, September 30th, first time on stage. My first few months getting on stage, I did bringer shows. So they would come every Saturday to the New York Comedy Club or Stand Up New York and be my 2 paying customers. They'd sit through 2.5 hours of horrible stand-up. I'd always be up at the end, of course.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you opened.
You
opened in a 2.5 hour set?
Sit the whole time and just like watch all these bad comics, and I'd do 5 minutes, and they'd spend $50, $60 every time. And so years later, season 1, even the pilot, I remember the pilot of Sullivan's Son so vividly, because Dan Lauria is playing Steve Sr. And Jody Long is playing Okja, my mom. And for them to come to like the Warner, I could get emotional thinking about it, but for them to pull into Burbank, go to Warner Brothers, be on a soundstage, and meet people that are playing caricatures of themselves, and they're in the audience. And I just remember there was a moment where I was about to film this next scene, and I was so in my head because everything was resting on me in the pilot. I'm in everything, every line. I remember just looking up and seeing them, and just like my mom was just in this chair, like so excited. My dad was behind her and like holding on to her. I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy, like so surreal. And it was great to even though I'm the comic on stage, like they've been with me on this journey for so long. And that was one of those pivotal, careers are roller coasters. You have these highs and peaks, and for them to be at that peak together with me and for them to see that unpack. And then a month later, when it was picked up, my mom asked me if she's getting a percentage. I said, what? She goes, well, you're using my name. and I'm a character, so where's my cut? I was like, cut? She's like, I don't get a cut? I'm like, no, you don't get a cut, Mom. It's a character. That's the name of the character. She's like, well, could I sue? And I'm like, Mom, I'm your son. She's like, but I could get a lawyer, right? I'm like, hypothetically, or are you asking me for real? Are you? And it was like a real conversation.
Really?
The character Okja, as much of a character, like always about the money,
Right.
it is rooted in reality.
Yeah.
For sure. So it was pretty wild, and I was laughing, and I was like, "Of course, this is the
This
conversation.
is what you're doing right now.
This is what
Yeah.
this is how it would have to happen."
Oh, that's amazing. She's like, I got to go play some slots. Well, thanks so much, guys. Sorry we didn't have a chance to get into some questions this week, but we wanted to share some stories, give a little bit of love, and thank you, as always, for the love and support. See us on the road, right?
See us on the road. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you got a major tour coming up.
Yep.
Where you're doing theater tours,
Yep.
and I'm gearing up to film my new hour special, so I'll be hitting the road. So my tour dates are at steveburnlive.com, and then I'll be. You're kind enough to have me along, and I love working with you. And I've loved meeting a lot of the Too Cool Moms fans.
Yeah, we
after the
love
shows,
that
which
one.
has been very nice.
We got to take some pictures with
yeah,
at the meet
pictures,
and
and
greet.
some girls had T-shirts on, which is
really,
really cool.
Really fun. The filming of your special,
Filming my special,
which I am directing.
You are directing Saturday, August 27th in Nashville, Tennessee at the Franklin Theater. We're filming it for Amazon Prime. Joe is our director. This is unlike any other hour special you've ever seen. I promise you, it's been a lot of fun doing it. But if you're looking to make a trip out to Nashville, maybe be a part of the taping, there's a handful of tickets left. So come down. But I got to tell you, working on this has been so fun because when you go on the road, that's when you see the results and it permeating. And again, even like today, this was a perfect example of why we started this podcast. We were discussing, the background of our moms and the foundation of it. So it was nice to kind of go back to the roots of it and recollect. So this was fun.
Great, buddy.
All right. Love you, bud.
Bye. Love you.
These two cool mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us, review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.